Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's dive into some of the things that Kevin Samuel said. Kevin Samuel talked down on women who divorce their husbands. And with today's toxic environments, toxic homes, a lot of marriages are in shambles because you have too many broken people marrying non-broken people and vice versa. Sometimes you don't really know who you're marrying until you start living with them. Sometimes you can get to know somebody for a long time and still not know who they are. And when you live with them, you'll be like, OMG, who is this monster? And now I believe in divorce when it's like, when your life is in danger, when your kids' life's in danger, when it's like abuse of any nature, then those are grounds to get divorced, honestly. Because I feel like God did not put you on this earth to be suffering, to be living in hell in another human being's hands. No, that's not God's will for your life. So whoever's telling you that in church or your family members, don't listen to them, because to me, those family members and those church members who are telling you to stay in an abusive marriage, or who are telling you to put up with abusive behavior and give an abusive man a pass or an abusive woman a pass, those people don't have their best interests at heart. So why are you listening to them? God's will is not for you to live in constant struggle. God's will is not for you to live in hell on earth. God's will is not for you to be miserable. No. God wants you to be happy, to be free to fly. Don't look down on anybody who's divorced or who's divorcing or what, because it takes a lot to actually work out of an unhappy marriage. Because sometimes you don't know what's going on in marriages. The divorce rate is so high, and people who do stay in marriages, they're not necessarily happy. They're just putting up with it, putting up with a lot of abuse, a lot of toxic energy, a lot of just, they're miserable. And the other 10% or 20% are happy. So just because somebody's in a marriage doesn't mean, oh, you pat them on the back for sticking through their bad behavior and bad abuse, you know. And don't look down on anybody just because they're divorced. No, because sometimes they did what's necessary to protect themselves, their lives, and their children's lives. When you stay in an abusive marriage with children, you are doing your children an injustice, because they're growing up in a very toxic home where that cycle of abuse is not going to be broken. So sometimes you have to divorce to break the cycle of abuse in your children and to protect your life and their life. So I respect women and men who walk away from bad marriages. They chose themselves, they chose their children. A marriage is not worth staying into if it's not a happy one. If you're being abused, if your life is in danger, if it's a toxic one. No, I don't care what the church leader says, I don't care what your parents or whoever, I don't care what a family member said. Anybody who loves you, who cares for you, will not encourage you to stay with an abusive husband or wife. Anybody who loves you and cares for you will not encourage you to stay in an abusive relationship. That is not godly. That is not love. People die in abusive relationships. People get destroyed in abusive relationships. So I never encourage anybody to stay in that kind of situation. Never. Unless you're a narcissist, you're a demon yourself. That's the only reason you encourage anybody to stick it through. Because you lack empathy. Because you want to see people destroyed. You want to see children grow up in abusive homes. You want to see children grow up broken, adult. Because you want to encourage a man or woman to stay. For what? Who benefits when a woman or a man stays in an abusive relationship? Who benefits? The abuser. The abuse get destroyed the longer they stay. You never encourage anybody to stay in an abusive relationship. Never. If you do, you're part of the problem and you're enabling abuse. Anybody who says, no, stay, anybody who looks down on people who live marriages, being in a relationship does not mean it's a happy one. It can be a very toxic one. It can be one that's really destroying people and children, and you want people to stay in that? That's some kind of sickness. Sorry. No, that's not right. That's not right. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. That's it from me. I hope to see you in the next video.